The wet season continues, and it's normal for this time of the year for us to see those heavy bursts coming through, and a Meteorological Service has issued an adverse weather warning for the possibility of a street or flash flooding, and also landslides and or landslips that we could be seeing over the next day. This is all courtesy of basically the possibility of those areas which could be flood-prone areas. We usually talk about those low-lying areas around the Caroni Basin, all the way up towards Arima as well, and even down towards the southern areas through San Fernando and out towards Pinal. There's a possibility there where you usually tend to get most of the flooding. So be mindful about that as you go through the next few days. And the main reason for that is the visit of the intertropical convergence zone. You can just see that long line of cloudiness stretching into the Atlantic that usually comes across us during the wet season, brings a lot of moisture, basically brings unsettled conditions. We could be seeing all of that through Thursday and lingering into Friday. So be mindful about that as you go through the next few days. You can just notice here that the ITC is linked to another tropical wave, but we won't be seeing that for another few days yet. So for Tobago then, cloudy, damp conditions will likely start your day looking for all of those showers to push through across Tobago's hillsides from Apali, Tuvia, coming down towards Canaan and Buku. Longer spells of showers as you go through your day, and also the possibility of a thundery or heavier shower as you go into your afternoon. But the concentration of the heavier bursts will be for Trinidad, so we'll watch for the dampness overnight carrying into your morning. So along the northern range, especially along those south-facing slopes, you'll notice a lot of the moisture piling up there. Some of those are heavier bursts expected for Arima, out towards Beach, down towards Chaguanas, and up towards Port of Spain, and all the while the possibility of street or flash flooding, especially in those heavier showers. For San Fernando as well as Moruga, again a cloudy, damp start for you there. Dreary skies for much of Thursday expected, with those heavier bursts coming through into San Fernando and Rio Claro as you go through the afternoon. So temperature-wise though, by night just around 24 degrees Celsius, by day a comfortable 30 degrees Celsius is expected, and through Friday the showers will still be there for Tobago as well as Trinidad. Still a possibility of a street or flash flooding there, because obviously by the time we get to that, we'll likely see a lot of that moisture especially accumulating along the ground. So we could be seeing quite sodden ground as we go through Friday, and that will obviously increase the risk of street or flash flooding. Heading offshore, moderate choppy seas, 2 to 2.5 meters, and you get some fresh winds from the east-northeast. Now across the Caribbean, obviously we've been looking at the remnants of a Beryl just leaving Hispaniola. You can just see it here, just spiraling just slightly, but it's basically a mass of cloud and rain. So we could be seeing some of those showers beginning to leave the Bahamas as we go through the next few days. There's a possibility of it beginning to develop, but overall still looking for it to remain well offshore, continuing towards the north and staying out in the sea off the coast of the United States. So for the Greater Antilles then, they're seeing quite a bit of a dry air, especially for Hispaniola. A lot of the Saharan dust around. Out towards the eastern Caribbean, we'll continue to see some dust, at least for Dominica as well as St. Lucia, but the rest of the Caribbean, especially towards the southern Windward Islands, we'll likely see a lot more in terms of those cloudy, damp skies and some thundery downpours that we will get as we go through our Thursday. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.